Family, it is the Nightly Spirit, your girl, Darlene. Listen, I'm so excited because I have FK&M. Let me tell you who that is. We are talking about Fred Hammond, Keith Staten, and Marcus Cole. That's FK&M. How y'all doing?
We are
Fantastic.
good.
So,
We are good. Excited, excited.
I'm so excited for y'all. I had an opportunity to listen to your new song, and we're going to get into all of that in just a little bit. But family, coming up, FK&M, Fred, Keith, and Marcus on the Nightly Spirit. It is the Nightly Spirit, your girl, Darlene. I am trying my best not to fangirl. I'm trying. I'm trying my best. So I'm gonna stay in my lane over here and be the radio host and not scream. Because I got Fred Hammond, Keith Staten, and Marcus Cole, and those of you that have my book know is the foundation of my salvation was right.
wow.
They already know. But I'm so happy to have y'all on. Fred, Keith, and Marcus, what's up?
You
Hey,
got it.
hey.
You got it.
Oh, Maxie.
Man.
Oh, Maxie.
Hey, Darlene, I'm glad to see you still doing your thing on radio. That is fantastic.
Yeah, man,
Fantastic.
I'm glad to still be on the radio because
Yeah.
you know, it could be,
Yeah.
but thank God. Thank God. So for those of you all that may be new, because I know that I have some people that weren't with us back in the commission days.
Mm.
Commissioned it was our teen sensations, but but here you are, years later, and you're still making music, and we're very excited. How did this FK&M brotherhood come back in the fold? You just
Um, I'll start off and then Marcus will take it and Keith. Um, I was out the game. Darlene, you know how it is.
I
We've been
remember.
a long time. And I was just tired of just making music, just and it's just tired, because we come from the old school. We come from the days of CDs and cassettes
Mhm,
and and hard product that you had to sell. And
mhm,
now streaming has come in and it has changed the game because of how people view it.
mhm.
Our audience, we don't stream every day. We're not on these things. We're not streaming farms. You
Right.
know, we drive to work, we'll listen to a 20-minute ride of some, or we'll go to come home and do that. That's pretty much it. Or maybe at the terminal, that's it.
Mhm,
Whereas hip hop, those kids never take those things out of their ears.
mhm,
Right. And it's all
mm,
so it's how its music is consumed. So I'm
mhm,
like, man, plus if I put out something new, even though in my heart new stuff is still coming,
mhm.
it's like when I do a concert, everybody wants to hear the old stuff anyway. I never get a chance to get to the new stuff. So I'm just like, man, y'all can have it. I'm good. I'm just this. And
Mm.
I made the announcement to retire, and then something happened. You know,
And then something happened.
uh,
and then I texted him and said, bruh, you can't you can't retire without us doing something together first. Because unfortunately, all of my heroes are kind of going, we lost Rance a couple years ago and things like that. And I was fortunate enough to record with Rance, but I was like, bro, we gotta do something together. And Fred was like, we'll think of something. But by that time, he had already heard a song that we had recorded, commissioned to have recorded, and
Mhm.
we were getting ready to put it out. And Keith was a part of that as well. And but through some decisions and whatnot, it didn't work over there. But Fred had heard it, and he
Mhm.
said, "I tell you what, if that becomes available, I'll jump on that." And I was like, "Say less, say less, brother. I'm sending the instrumental right now." And sure enough, he jumped on and he was like, yo, let's give Keith a bigger part because Keith was on it. He's like, let's give Keith a bigger part because let's make this kind of really equal vocally, sonically.
Mhm.
Let's make this equal throughout the entire song. I think in 2 weeks we were in Dallas
Mhm.
and we were not only finishing the song, but we started shooting the video to the song.
Ooh,
Because
of
because here's
course.
the thing, that's how that's how Fred works.
Exactly.
Fred, if Fred says like we're gonna do this, it's already in the work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's a very dependable, you know what I'm saying? That's a very dependable mindset to be able to work with. And conversely, Keith and I had come from the opposite of that. It was like talk, 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 no progress. And with Fred, it was like, boom, let's do this, da, 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 and boom, we got it done. So getting together with my two older brothers of the same fraternity to do what we're doing is, I mean, I can't put it into words. It's an amazing feeling.
It's incredible. Keith,
Now-
I think
what
it
do
was
you say?
2 weeks, right? About 2 weeks, Marcus.
2 weeks.
After,
Yeah, man.
after Fred talked. I think we were on the airplane about 2 weeks later.
Absolutely.
And not only did we get there and then do a video, we did a movie. We did the first episode.
First episode. And listen,
of the movie.
Later. 18 a year later, 18 songs and a whole what you call a pilot for a film series later.
Yes.
Like, you know,
and Darlene, here's the thing. The pilot didn't exist until we got to Dallas.
Right.
Wow.
It didn't, like it was just, we're coming in to do a song. And that might have been a one-off. We put out as a single, and then whatever retirement plans Fred had went completely out the window.
He threw it out the window, huh?
Yeah, it was like, yo, we might need to, and seriously, I watched him formulate that pilot, that episode in his head. Yo, we need to do this, you know. And Fred fortunately owns his own cameras and things like that. I saw my man pull it together, pop, 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 and and we were shooting. Orchestration.
Yeah, flying actors and actresses from all around the country. Yeah.
Oh,
Let me tell you something. That is incredible. Now, this is not what you hear when somebody says we've decided to do a single. You don't hear stories like that.
Right.
You just gonna go and just do the whole thing. You got a whole movie. You flying everybody in. You got what, 18 songs later?
Yes.
Well, you got to have something different these days. You got to offer people something different. And what we did is we let the film feature the songs, but the songs inspire the film. And the film helps people who are hurting, who deals with certain things. So yeah, no, it's something. It's something.
That's masterful. That is incredible.
We play, actually, I won't give the name of the series yet, but we play 3 old head business partners from back in the day who used to have this group, this R&B inspirational gospel group back in the day that traveled with the Temps and the Tops and the Gap Band we traveled with all of them and toured with them. But now we kind of retired. We own cell phone shops and rim shops and barber shops, and we just kind of pulling it together in the neighborhood. And we kind of community people that help the community, but we deal with somebody's real tragedy. And the first thing we deal with one of our employees is dealing with the murder of her son, one of her sons,
oh my God.
her son-in-law. But God is after somebody else in that family. This just had to happen. And so we have to deal with it. It's like, oh man, how do we deal with it? So we see that person being dealt with through a tragedy. And that's where music and stuff comes in. Yeah.
Y'all literally just made a whole church out of this. Just the whole gospel. Everything that God meant for us to be came out in this one single. It just manifested in all of this. That's absolutely incredible.
Really
That's what you call life-giving. I think anything that you get involved in, when it turns itself over, that's when you know the Father breathed on it and intended for that to happen, because we couldn't have formulated that way. You know what I'm saying? It was just, okay, let's do this. Let's do it. Let's do this. And we did it. I mean, we had Q from 112 who I think he called you up, Fred.
Yeah, he's actually, we just happened to be talking, and I say, hey, Q, jump in on this film with me. He's now one of the stars in the film.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's one of the
Great
stars
job,
in the
too.
film. Yeah, and you know, it's funny too. This is let me give a little DNA here. This is really a story about being able to love and not let confusion or bitterness cloud you. Okay, so let me give you the DNA of this. A friend of mine called me, and you know, I didn't divulge what made me want to say I don't ever want to work with Commission again. I said it like this. I said, the Lord told me my days with Commission are over. And it was due to 10 months of me trying to get everybody together and I was just being ignored. I said that then. Now we kind of know what that is, but I walked away. So I was very nice. And I said, you know, my days with Commission is over with. And then everything blew up like, wow, he did this, blah, 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 blah. Well, okay, fine. I let it happen. But I was hurt. This was my third time coming back and trying to help the guys. Every time we came back, it went to another level. I mean, every time Ray and I walked in that room, those guys went to another level. They toured, they did concerts, everything grew, and they still, you know, just didn't appreciate it. That's just what I'll say.
Okay.
So I'm at this point, and I'm making a point with it. I'm at this point where I am, Darlene, I'm hurt worse than ever before, any other time. So I'm like, I got to the point where I wouldn't even listen to music. I wouldn't even listen to Commission music. And it was my music. I wouldn't listen to Running Back to You. I wouldn't listen to any song I wrote. I didn't want to be reminded. I took an album and erased it off of me off of it, just symbolically of the hurt that I felt. I said, I don't ever want to deal with this again. Just that was the level of hurt I was at. And I didn't want to, I said, well, I know 2 weeks gonna pass and I'll listen to the music again. 2 weeks past nothing. A month past nothing. 3 months past nothing. Almost a year past nothing. I wasn't listening to anything. When I heard somebody came to me and said, hey man, you want to hear this Commission, you know, they got a new record. I'm like, I don't want to hear the old ones. What makes you want to hear them? And I said, nah, man, you know, and it's a, you know, I'm like, I said, I don't like them in words.
I'm gonna tell you something. What you just said to me, Fred. Like, even with what you said in the narrative of the movie, you know, there was a tragedy that spoke to someone else, and I'm just gonna give you just a quick thing. Every single time I'm hurt, every single time my heart has been broken, I'm gonna tell you what I hear in my head, in my spirit. There's a broken spirit and a contrite heart. That it won't despise it. Your voice
That's it.
continues to let me know that this is the place and this is the moment and this is the time that God is about to elevate me to something else, because I have to be broken in order to go to the next place.
But in our brokenness, we don't have to be bitter.
There you go.
And so with that in mind, the guy said, want to hear this? And I said, oh man, you know, not really, you know, I'm okay. He said, oh man, it sounds good, but it needs your voice. I said, stop, bro, just stop. Because people keep adding the injury. Man, if y'all would just keep hearing it over and over, every week I hear it, and they just keep smashing that heart. And I said, you know what? Let me hear it. Let me hear it. You know, I'm curious now. I want to see what's going on. And when I heard it, Carl's voice came on first. I was sitting by my pool and I closed my eyes. I said, and I leaned back and I listened all the way up to Keith. And I heard a little bit of Marcus. I heard Mitchell's iconic voice. And I said, that's a hit all day long.
Yes, sir.
I said, that's a hit all day long. And at that point in time, but what if I had said, man, no, I don't want to hear this, or tore it apart. Man, that's trash. It's that. He just did that. He ain't singing like this. But what if I was bitter and that was the filter?
Right.
I wasn't bitter. So I was open to say, man, I don't care if Steve Harvey and Ricky Smiley sing this, and Cat Williams. That's a hit. I told the guy, he was shocked. He said, really? I said, man, I'm a professional. At the end of the day, I don't hate them guys. You know, I don't like what they did, but that right there, right there,
that's
made
fire.
me feel something. And I wouldn't even listen to it again for 2 weeks, and I heard it in my head over and over again. I wouldn't even listen to it. So that's when Marcus called me. But that's how much of a song it is. But just think about it. If I had allowed bitterness to cloud me, the great that song was, it would have never been heard with us on it. I would not have been open to receive what God is doing now. That's why I preach, don't let bitterness hold you. Yeah, you can be disappointed, but don't let bitterness and unforgiveness be the thing. I would have missed out. I would have missed out on my blessing.
Man.
You know, being upset with somebody. No, I ain't that upset, man. Listen, that's a hit. Let's go do this and let's figure it out. You know, too bad.
Man, that's powerful.
And the same thing happened for me. That's why I'm a person of orchestration. My whole life has been orchestrated, and that's what I live by. That's my soapbox now. And Keith had managed to send me a clip of Fred being interviewed by DOA. And I remember when he sent it to me, Fred and I weren't really on talking terms at the time. And when he sent it to me, I was like, man, I'm gonna watch that. But he was like, you should check this out. I didn't know what his intention was, but he's like, check this out. And so I said, one day I was like, you know what, I'll watch it. And so when I watched it, I had heard a side of Fred, and mind you, I've traveled with Fred, with the play and been in the studio with Fred and all that kind of stuff. So it wasn't like I didn't know Fred, but I heard a side that really resonated with me, really, as particularly with what I was going through at the time. And I heard the Holy Spirit talk to me and say, you got to reach out to him. I said, really? Yeah, reach out to him. Just shoot him a text. If he responds, I know, really. If he responds, cool. If he doesn't, but reach out to him. And I did. I shot him a text. Big bro, boom, here it is, da da da. And he hit me right back. And the reception was so dope that it just instantly just kind of connected us, man. I think over the next couple of days, we were going back and forth, talking, da da da. And so this whole situation with the song happened on the heels of that. I said that to say, Fred said if there had been bitterness there, he'd have missed out. I think that bitterness and that disobedience to the Spirit keeps you out of the plan of orchestration. You know what I'm saying? It's like what the Father wants to do. If you have any bitterness and resentment that stops that plan, you miss out.
Listen, y'all are ministering so much with this story today. And I'm so glad that we had an opportunity to hear, the dynamics of the story, and not just the dynamics of the story, the build up for the song. The song is called Change Your Mind.
So look at the song and what we had to do. We had to change our mind about hearing the song, change our mind about listening to the video, the YouTube. And, when normally we would just walk past and say, nah, man, that's cool. I don't need that. I'm doing well. I'll do this, that, and other. But we had to change our mind, And God said, if you allow me to, I can change your mind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. This is about that. And this brings to the point of forgiveness is not for the other person. Forgiveness is for you. When you forgive and when you don't hold bitterness, that's not towards them, because all that is like drinking poison, expecting your enemies to die.
Right.
And so at the end of the day, I'm just saying, I open up my heart. Marcus opened up his heart. Keith's heart has always been open because he was the guy I always talked to and cried on when we were going through our tough times with the group. And he was the one that we would stay in touch. But at the end of the day, you have to, if anybody out there, you're holding something, and we don't hold nothing against the guys right now at all. We just lost Bishop Brooks. We just lost him. Jesus. So it's a lot of crying. It's like this whole week was a lot of crying.
Yes.
We'll never get together again. And we all felt it, and along with everybody else in the fraternity of commission. We all felt it. So it brings us a realness to as well. So we don't have a problem. This is really more so business, like who can agree, who can touch and agree. Those that can touch and agree move forward. Those that can in another area, y'all, and we wish everybody the best and whatnot, but somebody on here needs to hear that forgiveness is not for the other person. Holding bitterness is not for the other person. It's for you. You're missing a door. A door is waiting before you that God wants to take you down, and you won't even go through it. And God has provision on the other side of it, but pride and bitterness and hurt will stop you getting your blessing. And that's what it is. It's like, nah, man, we not doing that. We gonna keep it popping.
That's powerful. I heard a guy make a quote. He said, bitterness, unforgiveness, anger is a punishment you give yourself for the actions of others.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, Doc.
That's so good.
So,
and even the scripture says that God resists the proud, but he gives grace to the humble. When we humble ourselves and just let it go. I love this, man. This dialogue is incredible. It is extremely important. And family, listen, I'm gonna let you hear this song, Change Your Mind. That it changed a whole lot when I heard it. I was sitting there like, what? Let's go. This is a hit song. And I'm playing for you in 15 minutes. It's Change Your Mind. FK&M in the building. That's Fred Hammond, Keith Staten, and Marcus Cole coming up on the Nightly Spirit. Oh, change your mind. Boy, that's refreshing right there. That just reminds me of like old Frankie Beverly and Maze, just like that era, that whole
Earth, Wind, that whole 90s era, that whole 80s, 90s era. It touched the part we've been missing. You know what I mean?
We've been missing. That's exactly right. And this is, I'm just gonna say, family, I know a lot of y'all from the other side listen to this show. I need y'all to request FK&M to be on some of these shows that y'all got, because this right here is going to change the game. It really is. It's a game changer. You're changing our mind, but you're changing the game. And I really appreciate the obedience that you all have, to go in this direction with your music.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're unapologetically okay with being old heads.
Yeah.
We're unapologetically okay to be fly ageless.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what, man, we enjoy who we are because there's a culture of 40, 50, 60, 70-year-old millions of people still out there with value. And we want to speak right to them. And then the young people that want to feel it, come on. We go over
you don't feel it.
We got some cousins, some aunties and uncles and little brothers and sisters that's ready for it.
Yeah.
That's why we named the whole project Time Capsule.
Yeah.
That old feeling, as someone said earlier, new words, new message, but the same old good feeling from back in the days, the 80s.
Keith, what is your favorite song on this record?
Oh man, that'd be so hard for me to say.
Too early.
I'm gonna just say change your mind right now, since that's what y'all hear. Because it'll be.
I gotta kind of go with that one right off the rip.
Right now.
A bunch of them, but I feel that's the first thing that right there. And I'm gonna tell you, Darlene, it's 18 joints. They're not all coming out at the same time. They stagger.
Okay. Good.
So you're getting 7. And then in about 8 months, you're getting another 7.
Mm-hmm.
Stop the recording.
That was a nice picture, Darlene.
Oh. I was like,
I know she was chilling. She was chilling. Yeah.
You almost had that Quartet Pros where you.
Oh, you're a mess. You're a mess. Well, listen.
So do we need to repeat anything? Did you miss this?
I think that I just need
Yeah,
Fred
it's
to
a
pick up.
trilogy is the main
Yeah.
info that
Yeah,
Fred can
pick that
break
up,
that down
Fred. When
again.
you break down what the trilogy is, you say you're not gonna release everything at one time. You're gonna get 7, and then in 8 months you're gonna get 7 more. Just start right there and then go ahead.
And this is, you're not getting, Darlene, you're not getting 18 songs at once,
Okay.
because that's just a waste. That's like pouring water on concrete expecting the rose to grow. It ain't gonna happen. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna stagger the releases. We're gonna give you rose. My
Okay.
bad. You good?
I
Want to get
think
it?
it's because it's about to storm over here, and I think it's
Oh, is that right?
Wi-Fi. I think that's
Yeah.
what's going on.
You want me to
So,
get it again?
so one more time. One more again.
I got you. I got you. So D, it's not going to be one of them things where we give you 18 songs at one time.
Okay.
We're gonna do like the young folk. We're gonna stagger the releases. So we're gonna
Okay.
give you 7, then we're gonna give you another set in about 8 months or so, and we're gonna give you another set in about 8 months from that, and we're just gonna keep the releases coming. So you have time to digest, and
A
regroup,
chance to digest. Eat your food. Chew it a little bit.
chew it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And
I love it.
one of
What
the
a
good
wise
things,
way to do it. That's a wise way to do it.
one of the good things we're doing is I'm taking Keith and Marcus on the reunion tour with me
Okay.
to work with me on stage. I don't know if we have time to do whatever we're gonna do, but they're gonna be with me as, just as brothers up there, so people can start seeing us together.
Yes.
Getting in, I'm gonna toss the mic to them because I can't do 10 weeks like that, hitting them like that all the time. I gotta be able to toss the mic away. Say, hey man, go ahead, Marcus. Go ahead.
What was the question? I'm just getting back.
Oh,
No, he was
I
talking
love
about
it.
the tour. He was talking about the tour, and how we setting it up for everything. That's going to be exciting, man. To be out there
Oh
with
yeah.
Fred
Yeah.
on the reunion tour, and to see that happen, and to just be support for him, and to what I'm saying, to be on that stage with him, and but to also see how stuff works behind the scene is really important too, because we're all doing our own thing, and we need to learn how, what I'm saying, to make things happen and whatnot. And so what better person to do it than an OG who been doing it well for a number of years. So
Yeah, man.
And
Yeah.
Kirk's vision for this thing is ridiculous. I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. You got Marvin Sapp, you got the Clark sisters, you got Yolanda Adams, Kirk, and Kiki Shear. Come
That's so crazy. And I know it's gonna be sold out everywhere. We're all waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
I'm
all
big time. I'm big time excited about that. Be on stage with bro Fred.
Yes, sir.
I'm very excited. And as Marcus mentioned, just watching and learning, just because even the project this project has just been such a learning experience, hanging with Fred and just seeing how they operate there, all these different projects going on at the same time. We're learning, we're just soaking up everything. So the tour is going to be amazing just from that side of things. And just to be there, celebrating Fred and what he's done, and get to have the mic tossed to us. That's going to be fun.
That's gonna be crazy. I know y'all gonna be having fun, but we
oh yeah,
That's
are
exactly
gonna
it.
be like, whoa, right?
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. The reunion tour. Everybody, you got to make sure you get your tickets for that. But go ahead and get yourself started with this FK&M collection that you will have in your inspirational music playlist. Change your mind. We'll get you kicked off, get you started. It's Fred Hammond. It's Keith Staten. It's Marcus Cole. I thank y'all so much for hanging out with me tonight on the Nightly Spirit. Thank y'all for your time.
thank you.
Thank
you for
you.
having us.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see y'all on the tour.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
All
Oh
right.
yeah.
God bless you all. And family, coming up, I have Sybil Wilkes with another news update. And to make sure, download Change Your Mind right now.